What is up, guys? Today I'm back with another FC25 video, and in this video I will be showing you guys how I managed to get 50 footballing legends of my choice into FC25 career mode on console. And no, this isn't some secret mod or some fancy trick. Unfortunately, we can't get icons into career mode, the actual Ultimate Team icons into career mode on console. You can only do that on PC. So this is simply just me using the new feature that EA added for FC25 called Cranium. This feature allows us to basically go crazy with the customization, and we can get really close to the face of some actual football legends, although some of them do look a bit like Timo versions of them, a bit like the PES 2014 version of them. If you ever played that game, you know what I mean. So back in FIFA 17, I created a series on this channel called Past and Present, where I would essentially rebuild a football team back to their former glory. So in an Arsenal career mode, I would scout for the Invincibles, the new Invincibles. I would scout a physically strong striker from France to recreate Thierry Henry, and I'd scout a physically strong English centre-back to recreate Sol Campbell, and so on and so forth, with every player in that squad, or every ever past Arsenal player that I like. And if they're still in the game and they haven't retired, I'll simply sign their regen. And that's it, past and present. However, now that EA have added this feature, it kind of does change the game. There's no reason to do that anymore, you know? I can simply just find online tutorials that make those players' faces very closely. So simply what I did was I just made a list of some of my favourite football players ever, mainly Arsenal players, of course, from the 80s, 90s, from the noughties, from the 2010s. Then I went crazy on YouTube searching EAFC 25 Cranium, Gerrard tutorial, Johan Cruyff tutorial, John Terry tutorial, Thierry Henry tutorial, and I'd simply just go crazy. It takes a while, about half an hour or so, for me, copying this tutorial and creating the player in my game so that I can get them in career mode. So here's a list of the players then. Being the geniuses that EA are, they made a new limit this year. So I believe you can only create 50 players. Back in FC24, you can create an unlimited amount of players. But I think because that was really glitchy, in the second year of career mode, I believe, some people's created players would completely vanish. Knowing EA, they probably just said, let's not fix this. Who gives a F about career mode, mate? That's not getting us any money. Let's just put a hard limit of 50 players. So I created Gerrard, Cruyff, CR7, Keane, Sol Campbell has won the double, John Terry, Torres, Vieira, David Seaman, Rooney. Run. Drogba! Scholes, yeah. Oh, Robin Van Persie. Iniesta, Xavi, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, Messi, Maradona, Paraduno Bailao, Giggsy, Rio Ferdinand, the Black Pearl of Portugal, aka Eusebio, Pele. His Sao Paulo team is not in FC25 as I believe they failed to make the playoffs or something like that. So unfortunately, I couldn't put him on Sao Paulo. We've got Ozil, Mesut Ozil, I just don't think you understand. Ronaldinho, Zidane, Hazard, Totti, Balotelli, Aguero, Edmund van der Sar, mate. He used to be an unreal goalkeeper back in the day. Samuel Eto'o, Nicolas Anelka. Yes, I put him on Arsenal instead of Chelsea because I'm an Arsenal fan. Sorry. Gilberto Silva, Theo Walcott, Henrik Larsson, Arjen Robben, Georgie Best, Gary Lineker, Petr Cech, and last but not least, Paul Gascoigne. So yeah, I created 50 players that I thought I would want these guys in my career mode. First things first, guys, make sure you set the date of birth for the player to 2005, unless you want them to retire in the very first year of career mode. Because being the geniuses that EA are, you are unable to change the birth date of the player once they've been created. You can't change any of their facial features either. You can only change the position and the rating and the attributes. I don't think you can change anything else on the player. Actually, you can change their celebration and things like that. But yeah. So next thing, I would go on any FIFA career mode website or Ultimate Team website. I would look for that player, look for their best ever card in FIFA. Some players I didn't do that for actually. But for most players, I'd look for the best ever card they've had in FIFA. Then I'd give them those attributes. Of course, being the geniuses that EA are, every single player automatically has 99 potential. You know, you can't change the potential of created players on console. But you could argue that that makes it quite fun. I mean, you've got 50 cracked players who, some of them are already 90 rated at the age of 20. Put them in career mode, which is 15 years. Although I do believe you can use a glitch to get past the 15 season limit I might do a video on that. So put these cracked guys in the game for 15 years, 99 potential. I mean, the Ballon d'Or is going to be a toss-up every single year. And so yeah, I would put the player on the team that most people associate them with. So I put Walcott on Arsenal. I put Balotelli at City, even though he did win the treble at Inter, I believe. I put Ronaldinho on Barca instead of PSG or anyone else. Obviously, Giggs, Ferdinand on United rather than any other team they played for. I didn't put Rio on Leeds, although that would be interesting to see how he would get on at Leeds United. And so yeah, I do like this because I'm not a fan of how you can't edit players' ages. You know, when you start a career mode, Messi and Ronaldo, all these iconic players, they're retiring in like a year or two. And I do like regens and pregens in FIFA. Regen hunting is one of my favourite things, but I can only get so many Messi and Ronaldo regens with 1-star weak foot, 1-star skill moves before I'm like, you know what, F this. I'm going to put Messi and Ronaldo in the game myself so that they're immortal. Now, doing this, don't forget that I've put Messi and Ronaldo in the game, Portuguese Ronaldo. They already exist in FIFA, of course. So if you don't want them to both be in the game at the same time, what you could do is you could edit Messi and Ronaldo, the original players, so that they have the lowest rating possible. So that when they retire in a year or two, you don't get an instant regen of them that's like, has potential to be special, you know? Unless you want that. So I don't want to have, you know, a cracked Argentinian right winger when I've already got Messi in the game. I don't want his regen in the game along with the Cranium version of Messi. Now, the only problems with this, of course, is that the geniuses over at EA, of course, imposed the 50-player limit. I would go absolutely crazy with this. The only upside to this limit is that I can actually start a career mode once I've got 50 players. If the limit wasn't there, I just keep going. And you can't add playstyles, which in my opinion shouldn't even exist in the first place. But yeah, you can't add playstyle plus. I don't think you can edit the composure or the defensive awareness of the player either. So yeah, I used Cranium to get these guys into the game. I'm going to start a career mode with them. But if any of you guys do want these guys in your game on console, I've got a link in the description of all the faces I've copied. I made a playlist and I've got the link in the description. But do remember, this takes like half an hour for me sometimes just to create one player.